This evening, first up, election season heats up. The PPP prepares its final list of candidates, but will a US-sanctioned former official make a comeback? We've got the party's official response, plus new rules for the ballot. GECOM rolls out a revamped nomination form to prevent fraud ahead of the September elections. What's changing and why does it matter for every voter? Also, TikTok star in trouble. Baby Skello is behind bars over a blasphemous libel charge tied to lyrics about a Hindu deity. The backlash is growing and the courtroom drama has just begun. Meanwhile, murder charge filed. A private security guard is remanded for the fatal shooting of a construction worker. But the victim's family believes the real story is being covered up by the police. We break down the case and the controversy. Finally, global alert. Israel strikes nuclear and military targets deep inside Iran. What it means for the region and the world is still unfolding. All this and more coming up on Headline News Update. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for June 13, 2025. I am Bibi Backus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the People's Progressive Party is preparing to finalize its list of candidates for the upcoming general and regional elections scheduled for September 1st, 2025. General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party and Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo, during his weekly press conference on Thursday, confirmed that the party will meet later this month to discuss potential nominees. Among the issues to be addressed is whether May Thomas, the former permanent secretary who the U.S. government sanctioned, will return to the party's candidate list. Jagdeo, while noting the party has not made a formal decision, stated that he personally does not expect Thomas to be included.
I don't think she wants to be on the list, but the way I personally see it, no, she will not be on the list. That's how I see it personally. On now, but the party, I'm general secretary of the party, but we have not debated these matters as yet.
Thomas, who previously served at the Ministries of Home Affairs and Labor, was sanctioned by the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control. The sanctions allege that she accepted cash and gifts in exchange for favors to Mohammed's enterprise and its principals. Thomas resigned from the PPP following the announcement. Jagdeo stated that the PPP had issued circulars to its regional bodies, instructing them to submit names for consideration, and emphasized that the party currently has more qualified individuals than needed.
We have not put out our list of candidates as yet, though people will be considering the names of the candidates. We've had suggestions from our base. We're a party that has so many names now that it has now it is hard to get down to the required level.
Nomination day is set by the Guyana Elections Commission for July 14, 2025. Continuing our election coverage, GECOM rolls out a new nomination form aimed at curbing election fraud ahead of the 2025 polls. Dominic Gittins explains how the change is meant to protect voter integrity.
The Guyana Elections Commission has introduced a new version of the nomination form that political parties must use when submitting their list of candidates for this year's general and regional elections. The updated form, proposed by Chief Election Officer Vishnu Prasad, is designed to prevent confusion and fraud after several people claimed during the 2023 local government elections that they didn't know they had signed forms to nominate candidates. To avoid such issues this time around, the new form includes clear wording at the top of every page stating that individuals are willing and knowingly nominating candidates for a specific political party. It will be used for all types of candidate lists, national, regional, and geographic. GECOM is urging all political parties to use the updated form, which is available on its official website or at GECOM's offices. This move is meant to ensure a smoother and faster processing for nomination lists before Election Day. Reporter for Channel 2 Headline News, Dominic Gittins.
Thanks, Dominic. Local dance hall artist and social media star Daniel Wharton, known online as Baby Skello, was remanded to prison today after appearing before Magistrate Judy Latchman on a charge of blasphemous libel. The charge stems from a controversial song he posted on TikTok, which included vulgar and sexually explicit references to a Hindu goddess, Mother Lakshmi. The case has sparked widespread outrage, especially within the Hindu community, with many calling the lyrics deeply offensive and disrespectful to their religious belief. Wharton later deleted the song and issued a public apology, but the Ethnic Relations Commission condemned the content and pledged to explore legal actions. It is unclear if Wharton ever complied with the ARC's summons. Wharton had earlier surrendered to police after a wanted bulletin was issued. He spent 3 days in custody before being officially charged. Reports indicate that he had also lost his job amid the backlash. The charge of blasphemous libel, rarely used in recent years, carries a possible prison sentence of up to 1 year under Guyanese law. The case has been adjourned until July 1st, 2025. The ARC, in its public statement, emphasized the importance of content creators exercising responsibility and respecting religious sensitivities in Guyana's multicultural society. They also announced plans to launch educational campaigns aimed at promoting religious harmony, particularly among younger generations. The incident has reignited discussions on religious tolerance and free speech, with some commentators warning that such acts of symbolic violence risk exacerbating ethnic tensions in the country. Stick around when we return. Mother's desperate online plea triggers abuser's arrest and government crackdown, and security guard charged with murdering fatal shooting of construction worker.
This Father's Day, Digicel is showing love to the real MVPs, all the father figures who hold it down every day. And we're not talking socks and ties. We're talking an 85-inch TV to watch his favorite sports and a barbecue grill fit for the king of the backyard. 4 lucky winners will take home this epic combo. Just top up $1,000 or more and boom, you're entered into the draw. Give dad the gift of entertainment. Top up now, grill and chill with Digicel this Father's Day.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. If you do not apply for a transfer, you will have to go to the polling station where you will be listed to vote based on your previous residence. Wednesday, June 18, 2025 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money,
you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. A man accused of subjecting his partner to years of brutal abuse has been arrested following a harrowing public plea by the survivor that went viral on social media. The heartbreaking plea posted on social media yesterday by the domestic violence survivor has led to the arrest of Karen Sukhan, the man accused of subjecting his partner to 6 years of brutal abuse. The post, shared by Joanna, detailed horrifying acts of violence, including physical beating, sexual assault, emotional torture, and threats against her and her 2 young children. She said she escaped the relationship with her children last week after enduring years of violence that began in 2019, just months after getting involved with Sukhan, who owns the Red Scorpion car rental. Despite filing multiple police reports, Joanna claimed she was met with indifference and even ridiculed by officers at the New Amsterdam police station. One officer allegedly told her, quote, she must have enjoyed the licks, end of quote. Nevertheless, the public outcry following the viral post prompted swift action from the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. In a statement, the ministry said it immediately deployed a specialist team from its Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Policy Unit to assist Joanna and her children, ensuring they receive comprehensive and compassionate care. This morning, the Ghana Police Force confirmed that Sukhan was arrested in Region 5 and taken into custody at the New Amsterdam Police Station in Region 6. He is expected to be formally charged shortly. A medical examination was also conducted on Joanna. In response to public concerns, Region 6 Police Commander Shiv Prasad Bacchus announced that disciplinary action would be taken against the officer who made inappropriate comments to the victim. Meanwhile, Minister of Education Priya Manichan also weighed in on the situation, urging women in abusive relationships to leave, emphasizing that abusers do not change overnight and encouraging victims to seek help. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security is reminding the public that victims of domestic violence can call the 914 emergency hotline for support and intervention. In other news, a 25-year-old security guard has been charged with the murder of a construction worker following a fatal police chase. Dominic Gittins brings us the latest from the courtroom and community reaction.
A 25-year security guard, Messiah Musendent, of Buxton Friendship, has been charged and remanded to prison for the murder of Rondell Clark, a 29-year-old construction worker, where he appeared at the Vigilance Magistrate Court earlier today, June 13, 2025. Musendent appeared before Magistrate Sunil Scares, where the charge was read to him. He was not required to plead to the indictable charge and has been remanded to prison until June 15th, when the matter will be continued at the Covent Magistrates Court. Clark, of Fowlis East Coast Demerara, was fatally shot during a reported police chase on Sunday, June 8, 2025 at Fowlis East Coast Demerara. He was reportedly shot between 7:30 and 7:45 p.m. and later died at the Georgetown Public Hospital. While police initially reported that a private security officer was responsible, Clark's family expressed doubts and believed that the fatal bullet may have come from a police weapon. The situation gained attention after Clark's relatives protested the lack of transparency. They also claimed to have obtained video evidence showing police chasing Clark. A post-mortem later confirmed that the fatal bullet came from an AR rifle assigned to Musendent by Force Security Solutions, where he was employed. Meanwhile, Clark's sister criticized the police for their lack of transparency, alleging delays and misinformation as the family attempted to uncover what had happened. She also claimed that one of the police officers had a personal grudge against Clark, further complicating trust in the investigation. The police have assured the public that the investigation is ongoing and all findings will be thoroughly examined. Reporter for Channel 2 Headline News, Dominic Gittins.
Thanks, Dominic. In a major drug eradication exercise, Police ranks, under the leadership of a female deputy superintendent, unearthed and destroyed 2 large-scale cannabis farms in the Yarrow Back Dam earlier today. The operation dealt a significant blow to the illegal drug trade, with authorities estimating the street value of the destroyed marijuana at over 21 million Ghana dollars. The farms, measuring approximately 2 acres and 1 acre respectively, were found with thousands of cannabis plants in various stages of growth. The larger farm had around 4,500 plants ranging from 3 to 5 feet tall, along with a makeshift camp and a barrel containing roughly 140 pounds of dried cannabis. The smaller plot had approximately 1,500 plants ranging in height from 1 to 2 feet. All plants and dried cannabis were destroyed by fire at the site. According to the Ghana Police Force, the estimated street value of the narcotics destroyed is over $21 million. Investigations are ongoing. Don't go away after the break. More than 200 people killed in Air India plane crash, official says, and UN Nuclear Watchdog Board finds Iran not complying with obligations.
This Father's Day, Digicel is showing love to the real MVPs, all the father figures who hold it down every day. And we're not talking socks and ties. We're talking an 85-inch TV to watch his favorite sports and a barbecue grill fit for the king of the backyard. 4 lucky winners will take home this epic combo. Just top up $1,000 or more and boom, you're entered into the draw. Give dad the gift of entertainment. Top up now, grill and chill with Digicel this Father's Day.
Sneak in with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services. 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing June 16, 2025 to produce an official list of electors for the conduct of general and regional elections on September 1, 2025. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2025 and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will post the preliminary list of electors in all registration divisions for you to check if you are listed and if your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed on the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Friday, June 20, 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0277-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. The U.S. Coast Guard transferred 20 Cuban nationals to Bahamian authorities on Tuesday after rescuing them from Anguilla Key. The group was found stranded on the uninhabited island, prompting a joint response from Bahamian officials. Food, water, and a radio were initially airdropped to establish contact. Officials reiterated that migrants attempting illegal sea voyages will be interdicted and repatriated to prevent loss of life at sea. More than 200 people have been killed when an Air India flight crashed shortly after taking off at an airport in western India, authorities says. With only one survivor found so far, Al Jazeera's Mohammed Jamjamoon reports.
The final moments of Air India Flight 171. Shortly after takeoff, the London-bound flight from India's western city of Ahmedabad struggled to take flight, then came down, slamming into a building that housed medical students from an altitude of approximately 625 feet. The pilot is said to have sent a mayday call.
My office is a few meters away from this crash site. I heard a loud noise and came outside. I saw a thick cloud of smoke. People started running. There was chaos.
Scattered around the area, parts of the aircraft, a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner. As emergency crews put out the fires, rescuers took away the injured. The tail of the plane could be seen sticking out of this structure. According to Indian officials, one passenger, Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, managed to survive and walk away from the crash. Indian Home Minister Amit Shah visited Ramesh and others who were reportedly injured from the building the plane crashed into. India's Civil Aviation Minister inspected the site and said a thorough investigation would be conducted.
We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We'll do properly according to the protocol, and we are going to go to the depth of why this incident has happened. That much I can tell you now.
The plane was carrying more than 240 people, including 169 Indians, 53 British nationals, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian. Passengers' family members gathered at the Ahmedabad hospital, where they searched for answers.
I first came here, then went to the airport, and then to the civil hospital, but were still unable to get any details about the people who were on the plane.
The relative of one passenger said police had asked for DNA samples in an effort to help identify victims.
The authorities took the blood samples of his sons and said they would give us the reports in 72 hours.
By nightfall, the extent of the damage was still being discovered, and even more parts of the plane were found in the building it crashed into. As victims' loved ones tried to come to terms with one of India's worst aviation disasters in decades. Mohammed Jamjoom, Al Jazeera.
Iran says it has built a new enrichment site that is ready to operate. This announcement was made as a countermeasure hours after the UN's nuclear watchdog formally found that Iran is not complying with its nuclear obligations for the first time in 20 years. Al Jazeera's Hashim Al-Habara reports.
Discussions about Iran's nuclear program lasted for 2 days here at the Board of Governors meeting. But the Europeans and the US were adamant Iran has violated its commitments to nuclear safeguards.
This is a serious and significant resolution, but I should emphasize that it's not a political one. This is about upholding the global nuclear safeguard system.
Iran's ambassador, Reza Najafi, blamed the US, France, Germany and the UK for undermining 2 decades of cooperation with the West.
Iran possesses only 3% of the world's total nuclear facilities. More than 22 million euros out of agency's regular 39 million euros budget for 2024 has been spent exclusively on Iran. Each gram of nuclear material and every centrifuge are under strict monitoring. By ignoring these facts, the sponsors of the resolution claim Iran is not cooperating. Despite our strong reservations about the content of the report,
inspectors found traces of uranium in 3 undeclared sites, and they want to access the facilities and know what happened to the nuclear material that was used there. They blame Tehran for trying to destroy or hide the traces. The country's stockpile of highly enriched uranium is also a major concern. Iran was described by the nuclear watchdog as the only non-nuclear state that has significant amounts of highly enriched uranium. And it said, if further purified, it was enough to produce 10 nuclear bombs. In a Middle East facing more tension and growing fears of a military confrontation, Iran finds itself in a difficult situation.
The resolution gives Iran a last chance to provide answers about the uranium particles found in secret locations and allow IAEA inspectors unrestricted access to those locations. If that doesn't happen, Iran could face sanctions that may have a devastating impact on its economy. Hashim Al-Bara, Al Jazeera, Vienna.
Israel has launched a wave of strikes against Iran, targeting Iranian nuclear and military sites. Al Jazeera's Bernard Smith reports.
Iran's nuclear program, its main uranium enrichment facility, Natanz, on fire. In the Iranian capital, the homes of those possibly involved in the country's nuclear program destroyed. Israel has hit targets, infrastructure and individuals across Iran.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
Among the targets, the chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Hossein Salami, has been killed, according to Iranian state television, and the unit's headquarters in Tehran hit. The Israeli strikes also killed at least 2 nuclear scientists, Fereydun Abbasi and Mohammad Mehdi Tehransi. Israel's broadcasting authority says they targeted 10 scientists. Several children have also been killed, according to Iranian television. Iran's supreme leader says his country will retaliate.
The Zionist regime opened its dirty and bloody hand to commit a crime in our beloved country and revealed its evil nature by striking residential centres more than ever before. With this crime, the Zionist regime prepared a bitter and painful fate for itself and will definitely receive it.
In Jerusalem, sirens wailed as Israel started its attacks on Iran, while in the main city, Tel Aviv, residents started stocking up in anticipation of Iran's response. The US government says it isn't involved in Israel's strikes.
Tonight, Israel took unilateral action against Iran. We are not involved in strikes against Iran, and our top priority is protecting American forces. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for self-defense. President Trump and the administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. Let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel.
US intelligence sources quoted by the Reuters news agency say that recent intelligence assessments that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon had not changed, nor was there any indication that Khamenei had authorized the restarting of Iran's nuclear program. Even so, the US knew Israel was preparing to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. Benjamin Netanyahu says the operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. Bernard Smith, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day forecast. And that's Save TV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other and do have a wonderful week.